So just like you saw with horizontal translations, how they were opposite, a plus would move it to the left and a minus moves it to the right, it's also going to be opposite when we talk about horizontal stretch. Okay, so the smaller the number, the more it's going to stretch horizontally. So what we actually have to do is we have to take the reciprocal of this number to figure out how to stretch it. So instead of this being a 1 over 3, I would just flip it around to make it a 3 over 1. I'm ignoring the negative for the moment. Okay, so a 3 over 1, or in other words just 3, is how much I need to stretch my x values by. Since this is horizontal, x is horizontal, I'm going to take each of these points. I'm going to find the x value and times it by 3 to get my new x value without changing the y. Let's start with the easy one, 0. 0 times 3 is still 0. I'll keep that point there. My next point, the x value is 1. I don't care what the y is. I just care that the x value is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. My new x value is 3. So I'm going to move it over to 3. Okay. Now this one, the x value is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So we're going to move this point over to 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's do the same thing down here. This x value is negative 1. Times that by 3, we get negative 3. And our last point, the x value is negative 2. Times that by 3, you get negative 6. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and graph this new cubic. But I have not taken care of this negative yet. Now that I have my new points, I'm going to use this negative, which is going to be a horizontal reflection, so it will reflect it across the y-axis. Okay. So I'm going to leave the point at the origin. I'm going to take this, which was a positive 3 for x. Now it's going to be over here at a negative 3. This point up here was at positive 6. Now it's going to be over here at negative 6. And we reflect the ones below. This one was at negative 3. Now it will be at positive 3. And this last one was at negative 6. Now it'll be at positive 6. Here's the new cubic function after the horizontal reflection. I'm going to mark out this old one. There we go. All right, let's talk about the equation. So again, I have stuff inside the parentheses, inside of f of x. So I'm going to be replacing that x with all of this. I actually have to use parentheses this time. So I'll put parentheses negative 1/3 x. All of that is cubed. So it used to just be x cubed, but I replaced x with parentheses negative 1/3 x. So now it's negative 1/3 x, all of this cubed. So this is the equation for this red graph. Here's our last one. This time it's going to be a horizontal compression. So if you can imagine taking your hands on either side of this V shape and squishing them together towards the y-axis. So again, this is going to be opposite. Since that's a number that's bigger than 1, then I'm going to actually take the reciprocal of this, and that's what I'm going to multiply my x's by. So 2 over 1, if I flip it, I'll get 1 over 2. So 1/2. So I'm going to take my x values and multiply them by 1/2. let's start here at the origin. 0 times a half, or a half of 0, is still 0. My next point, the x value is 1. A half of 1 is 1/2, or 0.5. So I'm going to slide it back over so it's only at 0.5 instead of 1. Again, just talking about x values, ignoring the y's. Here's my next point. The x value is 2. A half of 2 is 1. So I'm going to move this back over to 1/2, trying to get all these points closer to the y-axis. Okay, my last point, the x value is 3. A half of 3 is 1.5. So we put it right there. Now, the absolute value is symmetrical. So I already know where my other points are going to be. It's just going to be the negative versions of these. So I'm going to use my symmetry, plot a point here, a -1/2, -1, and -1.5. And now I can draw my absolute value graph. So you can see that this one has gotten smaller as if we pressed it together, pressing our hands together closer to the y-axis. So that's a horizontal compression. Okay, to write my equation a different way, I'm going to replace the x with 2x. So it would be the absolute value bars, 2x in the absolute value bars. So replace the x with 2x, kept my bars, and that's it.